Sup, Dad?
Welcome to This Dad Reads, a bookish podcast spanning genres and fandoms. What is up, my fandom friends? I hope everyone is doing well out there. It's Jason here. I hope everyone's summer is getting off to a great start. I hope you have your summer reading goals all ready to go. And like I've said before, halfway through the year, I hope that everyone's reading goals have been on track and that you are enjoying what you've been reading so far. I have had a great reading year so far. There's been still a lot of life happening with, school, new job. Life's always chaotic and crazy, right? But still been able to carve out time for tons of fun books and so many great offerings we've had this year, and still so much more to come. So today I am especially excited because I am doing a nerd out session with my buddy Mitch, and that is coming up in just a second. But before we get into that, I wanted to go over my last current next. Let's check it out. So the last book I read was called The First Cylinder by Joseph Doherty. That was, it's the latest published review on thisdadreads.com. This is a relatively short sci-fi novel. It's a take on The War of the Worlds, the classic novel by H.G. Wells, but this one is from the perspective of the aliens, the Martians who invade Earth. Now, full disclosure, I've never read The War of the Worlds. I'm kind of aware of what it is just from pop culture. I know there was a really famous radio drama that came out in the 1930s that caused, widespread panic among, citizens of the United States, people thinking it was an actual alien invasion. But I've never actually read that story. But having said that, this novel was still enjoyable for just kind of its unique take on the sci-fi trope. It added a lot of humanity to this alien species and made it really relatable. So it was cool. It was definitely interesting. It was kind of like a found novel. The author, Joseph Doherty, kind of has himself as a character who found this recording and kind of translated it from Martian into English. So it was cool. It was I love supporting all types of authors, and this book kind of was right up my alley, and it was a really quick read, and my full 3-star review is up now on thisdadreads.com, so check that out. The book I am currently reading is the newest Star Wars book, which is coming out July 18th. It is Inquisitor, Rise of the Red Blade by Delilah S. Dawson. Now, Delilah is one of my favorite Star Wars authors. In terms of new canon, her books are at the top of my list, especially Phasma and Black Spire. Really good, like kind of a duology. People have said it's kind of a duology. There's some, connecting storylines between those two books, and just really love them. And Rise of the Red Blade takes place in the prequel era. I'm not going to give too much away, and I actually can't even say that much yet. So, but it has to do with one of the Inquisitors, obviously, who kind of starts her time as a Jedi and tells the story of how she made that transition to the dark side. So I am still in the middle of it. I'm enjoying it so far. I really love when Star Wars just kind of jumps all around the timeline and tells unique tales. And this one kind of has some cool story moments and story hits that will be familiar to all of us and all of you. And so keep an eye out for my full review on thisdadreads.com closer to the publication date of that one. The next book I'm reading is Hard Contact, Book 1 of the Republic Commando series by Karen Travis. Now, this is going to be the Essential Legends Collection edition. I try to review and read all the Essential Legends collections as they come out. This latest wave was published in May, and I have not had the chance to read them yet. So I'm going to jump on those as my next read. So I'm going to kind of go on another Star Wars kick for the next 3 or 4 books. So I'm excited to jump into this one. I know nothing about this book. So if anyone is a fan of the Republic Commando series, let me know. Let me know what I'm in for. But I will be reviewing this latest wave of Essential Legends collections for TatooineTimes.com. So keep an eye out there for my review on Hard Contact and a couple others in the coming month. So that's what I'm reading right now. I would love to hear what you are reading. Please hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what your last current next is. And I would love to share some of those with my listeners on a future episode. Hey, what's up, Casey78? How you doing, bud? I know. I am so excited to talk to Mitch today. Do you have everything ready to go for us? Perfect. Thank you so much. Hey, I'll make sure to tell him hi, okay? Appreciate you. All right, without further ado, I am stoked to have my friend Mitch with me for my next Nerd Out session. We talk about a lot of our overlapping interests from K-pop to Star Wars. So as Casey's getting things set up for my time with Mitch, I just wanted to say really quickly, this is an adult podcast, but having said that, I try to keep things pretty clean in terms of language and stuff, just in case there's little ones or little ears. And for this conversation, Mitch did let me know that it's his right as an Australian to curse. So I just wanted to give you that quick warning if you are listening with little ears around, just letting you know that that is part of our conversation today. So let's kick things off, Casey. And I am stoked to welcome to the show my friend Mitch, or as you might know him, that dude that read that book. Welcome, Mitch.
G'day.
Yes, what's going on? I think you might officially be my furthest remote interview session that I've done so far.
Would be.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I mean, if people can't tell by his accent, Mitch is way over down under in Australia. And we've been connected for quite a month.
What? In Australia, mate. In Australia, mate.
There you go. Oh my gosh. I, as a precursor, we've talked about this already, but Mitch was saying it's his right to swear as an Australian. I was just thinking oh my gosh, right. my kids are gonna love it because they love Bluey. Obviously, everybody loves Bluey. So, but I might have to really be careful what bits I show them of our conversation.
The best part about Bluey is that's made in Brisbane.
And that's where you're from, right?
So that's where I'm from.
Yes.
And they actually had an Airbnb of the Bluey house.
I've heard of that.
You could go and stay at. Yeah. I think they only had it for a short time.
That's epic.
But they had it.
That's epic.
And the best part is when we went to the studio, we walk in and I think the studio that we recorded at, pretty sure that's where Bluey has recorded some of their music.
Shut up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we walk in and there's a vinyl of Bluey up on the wall.
A gold record.
Because they have bands that they've worked with. Yeah,
So why don't you just take a minute? I mean, I was going to do it for you, but might as well introduce yourself to the audience, to the listeners out there. I think a lot of people know who you are. You've already been name dropped on the show when I had Zane on.
I have.
So
Zane. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do.
I am Mitch. You can just call me Mitch. You don't need to call me that dude that read that book. Straight up. I'm from Australia. I am a affiliate streamer for Underground Esports. That's kind of my side thing. I work in solar. I'm in a band. I play shitty punk music. And yeah, I read books. Not as much as I should at the moment. A bit busy, but...
Well, the whole reason you're here is you're doing a Nerd Out session with me because we've connected over our shared love of a lot of things over Instagram, over obviously books and Star Wars. And if you guys go and look at both of our socials side by side, I would say there's a lot of stuff. Our shelves look very similar, I think, Mitch. It's not just one thing. My bookshelves aren't just books.
Yeah, well, you got the mixture of Lord of the Rings and everything. I've got that too. I've got Star Wars.
Yes.
I know you go into Dark Crystal, but I've got a Kevin Smith shelf. Just because I love Jay and Silent Bob and all that. I've got a Disney shelf. I have an entire glass cabinet of just Batman stuff.
Yes, dude.
Another one of Sweeney Todd.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
I have a vinyl one. I try to show off most of my stuff. I have two pretty epic shelves that I'm very proud of. But same thing, I have a Batman shelf. I don't know if you've ever seen that up close. I have a J. Scott Campbell shelf, who's one of my favorite comic book authors. A vinyl music, K-pop. We'll get to that shelf.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's all mixture. I like to have mixed media shelves. There's a pop with the book, with this and that, and so you have very similar vibes.
Yeah, everything needs to be in its sections.
Yes.
I've got a shelf downstairs. Top 3 shelves is just Star Wars because obviously that's the main one, and then the next one it's got my wife is a Spyro fan, so we have a Spyro section. We've got Lord of the Rings, Kevin Smith. There's a Harry Potter one, which is a little bit of a touchy subject at the moment.
Right.
And then, just a bunch of other stuff.
That's fun. Well, all that to be said, it was only a matter of time until we made this happen and had you on to have a nerd out. So I'm really stoked to have you here, man. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while. Because I'm sure like most of these other conversations I have with my friends, you're my friend. We're real friends. We're online friends. We can just talk forever. Yeah. Like if we were in the exact same room on the same continent in the same time zone, we would be having the same conversation, right? So I'm just stoked to be able to record it and share it with everyone and share you with like other people too who might not know who you are. So anyway, stoked to have you.
They should know who I am. I'm kind of a big deal.
Right? Twitch.
Do you know who I think I am? I'm a big deal.
You're a very big deal. I mean, what did you say? You're an EA Sports affiliate streamer. You're in a band.
Esports Underground.
There you go. Yeah. See? Big time. Hey, just really quick too. I know you have that dude that read that book. That's kind of like your book handle, but you have a couple, like you have some separate handles for your separate stuff too. Do you like what? What was that?
Hold on to your pants.
Okay.
So I have that dude that's in that band. I have that dude that read that book. I have that dude that made that video, and I have that dude that plays that game.
Okay, there you go. See, I've had the same thought because there's a lot of things I'm into too that I was like, oh my gosh, am I limiting myself by reading? Like, yes. So you might be my inspiration for the future. Mitch, I can't even remember, man, like how... I'm trying to go back and think about when we first started. Okay. Am I a bad friend now? I don't remember.
Okay. No. I have a dumb shit memory when it comes to stuff like this. So Justin followed me. And then I was following him back. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Then he went to Star Wars Celebration, and obviously he met a bunch of people. Then there's that infamous photo of you and him together.
Okay, yes.
I found your profile. I followed.
There we go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. And someday there will be a picture of all three of us and everyone else who, you, me, Zane, Justin, everybody, like, sorry if I didn't name drop all my online friends, but someday that's like my dream is to have like the most epic Star Wars book meetup ever.
I would sell both my kidneys just to get over to a Star Wars celebration in the States.
I mean, you and me both, man. Who knows when that's even going to happen next?
Who needs kidneys?
What?
Who needs kidneys?
I know, right?
They're optional,
seriously,
right? That's DLC.
There's plenty of people who do. So you're just doing someone a favor, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I know. Next time.
This celebration's closer to me.
What was that?
This celebration is technically closer to me being in Japan.
Okay, so you got to make everyone come to you then. Or make everyone hoof it over there.
If it come to Australia, it would go to Melbourne.
Okay.
Out of anywhere, yeah.
Seriously, that's goals. Like, I would love... I've never traveled to Australia or New Zealand. Like, those would be dream, like, destinations for me someday. So, family vacation when the kids are older or something like that. So,
yeah, we got Australia Zoo here.
Oh, man. That's all they need. Seriously, that's all they need.
Well, Queensland, you got Australia Zoo, we've got Movie World, we got Dreamworld and SeaWorld.
Okay.
Relatively close together.
Yeah. And the Bluey, the Bluey thing. First, I mean, come on. My daughter would die. She would literally die if we went to Bluey's. Like,
the only episode of Bluey I've watched is one that's banned in America.
We went and found them. We found them all.
It's the fart episode.
Yes, and that's my kid's favorite one.
That's the one that got banned?
I know, so stupid. That show is legit so good, though. There is so much garbage shows for kids these days, and, like, I sound so old when I say that, but, like, seriously, garbage. Like, but Bluey is the one thing where I'm like, I will actually, like, sit and get distracted enough to, like, watch more of it, you know, while they're watching it because it's so good. Anyway, it's so relatable.
See, I'll probably get into that. Just got a new little nephew last week.
Oh, nice.
So we'll probably get
eventually,
into that.
Eventually, yep. Yeah. My daughter she's watched them all numerous times. So very, very familiar. Love it. Okay, so I'm gonna dive in to something that I know both of us have been excited to talk about. Like I said before, we have a lot of overlapping interests, but I want to start with one that is very close to my heart: music, and most particularly, most beautifully, most epically, our shared love of K-pop. So, dude, you don't even know when you started posting on your story at one point. I don't even know when this was about Blackpink, and I was like, wait, what? Like, love, like, I know Blackpink's huge. Don't get me wrong. Hear me say, but I will say K-pop is one of the things that I don't have a lot of actual connections with a lot of people in my real life or my online life. And so it's
Oh, see, I just force it on everyone.
oh yeah, I mean my family, my kids, my household, they all know. Like
At work, it's like, you're listening to this.
yes.
You will be happy. Serotonin is in your
Oh
head.
my gosh, so good, right? And I have numerous friends who have been my music buddies for years, and we send each other songs, but it's like I cannot get them out of the Western like English stuff. And I'm like, guys, I know you are my pop music guys, but I cannot get them into K-pop. And I don't know, I think it's the language barrier, but and everyone's on their own journey. That's fine. Like if it's not going to be for you, it's not going to be for you. But it's just like it's like my mission to convert as many people as possible. And when I hear my wife humming K-pop songs, that like part of my job has been done.
Yeah, the main thing about K-pop is it's not for the music. K-pop is solely a business. And the reason behind that is like that means their songs are mathematically made to sound as good as they possibly can, because it is made to make money.
Sure.
It is made to make these like idols look good. And that's one thing that I just love, like being a musician myself, is just sitting there and just pulling apart like Teddy with Blackpink and that, like he just adding little things like Crazy Over You by Blackpink, how it just has that like noise in it. I'm like, who the fuck thinks of that?
But the production, like I would argue that it is about the producers behind it are like the most creative, like like obviously I would say there's an argument to say like pop music can be like bland and boring, whatever, but I think it's really hard to write really good pop music. Like to have something be that catchy is actually a skill. And I think to what you said, Korea treats K-pop as like a sport, right? So it's a competition. And so I think that there's like an inherent like drive for these producers and then the companies to put out like the best or the craziest so to me that's a benefit, because as a music lover, as a pop music lover, it just feels like it elevates like the pop music genre. And I've heard a lot of people talking about why they love K-pop online, because they feel like it's this evolution of like Western to like this kind of like 2.0 like extra like.
The thing with K-pop is the best era of pop music, in my opinion, was
the
2000s.
The 2000s, yes.
And that's what it is. Like it just has that nostalgic feel.
But
of the
like
early
elevated
2000s.
and modern and
And like one thing, how you said with the language barrier before, the one thing is like, obviously I grew up listening to metal where it's like deathcore, death metal and all that, where it's just screaming. Where most of the times you can't understand what the lyrics are anyway. So like going into K-pop, it's like, this makes sense to me. Like,
but maybe you can speak to this, because I've seen this a lot. Like I've seen a lot of like K-pop reactors and like a lot of metal fans, like male metal fans, gravitate to K-pop. Yep. Like what is that? Like I don't understand that. So where do you think that comes from?
Their song structures are basically metal song structures. Okay. The way they do like their dance break, that's basically
guitar solo
breakdown.
Okay.
Or something like that. Like it's there. Like the way that they structure it is very. And there's some bands like Dreamcatcher and that, where they use a lot of rock elements and stuff like that. Like they actually use like guitar and everything in their songs, and it sounds incredible.
Right.
Like when we were saying when Shutdown came out, how there's that whole section where they've got like the real drums and that. You're like, that just slaps.
Yes.
Like it's there. Like
they're like real instruments, like shockers, guitars in actual pop music.
Like, love that.
I know. I love it. So I know we've talked about our shared love of Blackpink. We've talked about Twice. Like it's hard. The girl group thing, I'm very picky about the girl group thing. I don't know. There's something just about the voices.
Same.
To me,
I'm the opposite.
At a certain point, they kind of...
It's male groups. Male groups, I'm like, no.
Yeah, but see then...
Female groups, I'm like, yes.
See, but then male groups, I don't know why. I feel like they have a different vibe, and I feel like I can... I don't know what it is. Maybe I can distinguish voices better for males than girls. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Look, I'm willing to die on my hill. I'm going to get cancelled right now. I don't think BTS are that good.
Dude, I don't care about getting canceled. I don't like them that much either. There's some songs, but I agree. I feel like
there's some songs.
They use so much auto-tune. Like I don't know what I don't like that. But.
Like Fake Love, banger, immaculate song.
Yeah.
And like they do have their good songs, but like
I will say though,
Stray Kids are better.
dang, yes, and dang, dude, what was I just DMing you before we got on? I was like, go watch Stray Kids' new release. I'm freaking out.
I've been so busy. I've missed it the whole time, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, this fucking slaps, dude. I send it to my wife. I'm like, listen to this.
I send it to my boss. So one person in my real life, and I have a new job. My boss, we've connected over K-pop. She's my friend for a long time. She's she's army, like all the way hardcore. So I'm trying to open her eyes, and she feels like she can't betray her guys, and like she doesn't want to invest in like the emotional investment and the money in another group. I'm like, YouTube's free. You can listen to anything you want. So I'm trying to open her eyes, right? So I was like, Stray Kids, I think is going to be how I get her, because I feel like they've kind of, they're better.
And they're so hot.
I was telling my wife.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Goals.
They are pretty men. Oh.
Yeah, she was...
Felix with the deep voice.
Killer.
Just sweep me away in your arms on a horse.
Oh my gosh. And he's like singing in a lot of their new album. Anyway, so good. What I was going to say was BTS was actually part of my bridge to K-pop, because I got into it. I found some article years ago. I started getting K-pop, I think, like 2018, I want to say. And it was basically because of Despacito, like the huge like global whatever Justin Bieber smash. And there's this article about like how like non-English language tracks are like becoming a thing and like blah blah blah.
So it wasn't the Macarena for you.
It has its place. And they referenced BTS, and of course I'd heard of BTS, but for some reason they referenced one of their latest songs, and it was DNA. Anyway, so it was BTS DNA. It was a mid-release. It's not even one of their biggest songs, but I actually really loved it, and that really opened my eyes. I think because of Despacito, my kids loved it. They were like singing. I'm half Mexican, so like Spanish is not that far off. But then I was like, yeah, who cares? Like my kids are singing the song. They don't know what it is, and so I kind of just listened in a different way. And my cousin back in the day, he loved J-pop, and he was way into like manga, and so some of those songs like in my youth or like kind of jokey songs, but I never really crossed over into like Asian pop. But then for some reason like a switch flipped, and then I was gone. Then it was over.
I could name the exact flip of the switch for me, because I've got a Korean friend, and then like they brought up Blackpink, and I gave a song half-assed listen. I was like, oh yeah. And then Money by Lisa blew up on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
And that like dance break part.
She's so good.
I was like, that slaps. That slaps so hard. And then I went and then I looked up Boombayah.
Oh my gosh, yes. My daughter loves that
song.
Was
it. That was it. Done. I was sold. I was sold. Rose is the love of my life.
She's the best.
Hale's the second. Like, dude. Like,
I love Blackpink though too, because I feel like they kind of defy that. Maybe it's because they're a little bit more international, or like some of where they come from is different. But they don't have that as much of the girl group stuff that like annoys me with other groups. So they just
the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, I watched that. It was
like
good.
When I was getting into them, I watched that and I was like, this is incredible. Like that, where it kind of shows the background. Like I know agencies are rough. They can be very, very rough. Like seeing some girls just like pass out from exhaustion, because they do like 14-hour days and have like a day off.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And they're paid like nothing.
You got to respect the hustle. Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm stoked that you're my like K-pop guy. I mean, you're inspiring me to be a little bit more vocal about that. I don't hide it. I don't have guilty pleasures, but
there is no such thing as guilty pleasure. Nothing.
No, I agree.
You like what you like. There is no such thing.
I totally agree. So that's why I was like, we have to talk about K-pop and spread the love. So I will say some of my favorite groups, before we bore out all of my Star Wars book reading friends out there, I would say check out Stray Kids. Check out.
I know this isn't a visual podcast, so I'm going to just grab two of my vinyls to show you the duality.
Please do.
Of my music taste.
Please do. While he does that, I'm going to list off some of my K-pop groups that you should check out. I recommend you checking out Stray Kids, which we just said, Blackpink, NCT. NCT is up one of my biggest favorite groups ever. They're hard to explain. They have multiple units, but NCT Dream, NCT 127. Go just YouTube, click them in on YouTube, type them in on YouTube, look at some of the highest views, and just go check it out. You'll never be the same.
In the Court of a Dragon by Trivium, like one of the frontiers of modern metal.
Okay.
And now this is one of them. This is the first album I ever owned. I had it on cassette as a kid.
Oh.
Bought it from the local like cheap shop.
Uh-huh.
NSYNC, no
There
strings
you go,
attached.
dude. Epic. I've heard so many people say that they feel like K-pop is the evolution of like boy band, like that, the boy bands, the like bubblegum from the 2000s. And I totally agree. Just like multiply it by double. Like these groups are like 9, 11, 12 members, you know? Anyway, so good. But while we wrap up on K-pop, what are some of your other recommended groups you would check out? I listed off some of mine.
ITZY.
Okay, ITZY.
aespa. Dreamcatcher, Twice. Somi is really good. She is a part of like Black Label, which is an offshoot of like YG.
Okay.
And if you like Blackpink, Somi is because Teddy writes her songs too. Here's another one. Hang on, I'll get my K-pop playlist out. It's the one that I play the most at work. aespa, I've already said. Le Seraphim. They're fairly new. You've got I've have a couple good songs, and New Jeans.
Okay. Yep.
New Jeans are blowing up at the moment with Oh My God.
Yes, definitely heard of that. Been on my radar.
Oh my God. Yes, yeah.
Well, why don't you share what you just sent me a message? You've been recording with your band. What did you just do with one of those songs that you wrote? Or do you want? Can you share that?
Yes. So, well, it's not one that we've recorded, but I've written it. It's called Momo Stand, because everything in the song we play it twice. Like the intro guitarist played twice, the whole band plays it twice, verse twice, chorus twice, verse twice. So there's a lot of twice, and I was like, I'm going to try to jam this song full of lyrics that reference twice.
There you go. Love it.
So I ended up with 10 twice song titles that's referencing it, like Set Me Free, The Feels.
That's so amazing.
And
that's
all
awesome.
that, yeah.
Set Me Free has been one of my jams this year. So good. We could talk about this the whole time. So let's transition to Star Wars. Let's go into another one of our shared loves. So Mitch, can you tell me about, this is something that we've never talked about. So how were you first introduced to Star Wars, and how did you kind of officially jump into like the fandom proper, I guess?
So I didn't have anybody give me Star Wars. My parents haven't seen it. Like, I just kind of did it on my own. So in 1999, 2000, when Phantom Menace came out, like, it looked cool on TV. There was a dude with like red sword. I'm like, that's really cool. And I got a show bag from our local show that when show bags are actually good, and it come with like the visual encyclopedia. It had like a little pod race scene. It had Jabba sit on it, and it had like Anakin in the pod. And then I remember I was sick in 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out, and it just came out on VHS. So I made Mum, she's like, I'll go to the video store, if anyone remembers what they are, and I'll hire the video. And I was like, yeah, I want Revenge of the Sith. And I watched that, and I was like grade 6, so I thought it was cool. And then I hit puberty, and I was like, I'm too cool for this shit. Threw out all me things, threw out me fucking Thunderbirds toys and that I loved. No. Got rid of those. They're worth a fortune now. I'm like, probably shouldn't have done that. Threw them all out, and then what got me back into Star Wars was when I was about 16, 17, kind of going out of that, like, I'm too cool for this kind of stage, when you just kind of fuck it, just embrace who you are. The local Target, and that was when they did those re-releases of the original trilogy. And I picked up Empire because I remember that was my favorite, and had the version that had like the two different versions. There was the theatrical version and the thing. I got that. I just fell in love again. Like, I just sat down, watched it again. And like, you know, that was a good 10 years in there. And then I sat down, fell in love with it, and then went back through, played a bunch of the old games on my computer at the time, and then Disney bought it. And then that's when everything just started coming back into the subconscious of society of, hey, Star Wars is back. And then the thing that really, really got me like hooked into Star Wars was Bloodline.
Nice. Okay.
I read Bloodline, and I was like, this is incredible. I need to read every bit of media that's within canon now.
Was that your first Star Wars book?
I did read the first of the original Thrawn trilogy when I was a wee lad, because I used to read a lot even when I was a kid. We have a MS Readathon here, where you read so many books and then you get donations and you get prizes, and it goes to multiple sclerosis research and stuff like that. I used to do that as a kid. But then, Bloodline, I picked it up and I was like, I read it and it got to like the big ending, like the big plot twist.
You can
say. Can I talk spoilers? Sure. Like when everybody finds out, like Vader, like Leia is Vader's daughter, and just everything goes to shit. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Just Claudia, so good.
Yeah, Lost Stars was my first book, and I couldn't put it down.
I own it. Haven't read it yet.
What?
Haven't read it yet. I have so many Star Wars books that I've just got there that I haven't started phase 2 yet. Of the High Republic.
Okay. You're in for it, man.
But now that it's kind of wrapping up, I was like, okay, now I can. Because I was kind of pissed off with the whole not following on. I was like, I want to know what happens. Yeah. Give me the fucking answers. And just
we're so close. But I think I'm really keep me updated. I mean, I'll follow what you're doing, obviously online. But I think now that it's over, it's really cool, and I'm really actually bummed that it's over. Well, that this phase is over. I've said it before in other places. Like, I hope this isn't the last we see of some of these characters, because I feel like a lot of us are kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's different. That's unexpected. And there's been some highs and lows for sure, I would say, but I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that's like, but another thing with being Australian, it's a little bit harder to get the books.
Yeah.
Like, America gets them like 2 weeks before Australia does, and then even then, you can't find them in the shops.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
And then when you go down to the shops, they're like fucking $35.
That sucks.
And you're like, and then you resort to Amazon, but I like the hunt.
Yes.
I like to walk into a shop and go, oh, there it is, grab it, and then see the price and go, put it back.
That's awesome. I feel like that's most of a lot of people's deal. It's like the thrill of the hunt, right? Of like whatever it is. So that's always a part of it.
But then I can't complain too much. One of my friends who's from Poland, Brave Book, Alex, I share all of her stuff. Her waiting for them to be translated.
Oh.
And then that's like even months further down, and I was like, oh, I can't complain too much, I guess.
I know. And that
hardcovers are impossible to get here,
really?
Pretty much. Yep. That's like when the Ascendancy trilogy came out. And people were like, how'd you get a paperback? It's like, that's all I could get without cutting off my foot going, here, have this.
Because you've already given away your kidneys.
Yeah,
that is interesting, because I've done some pre-orders. There's some other books that like I like authors that are some like UK authors, and their stuff doesn't come out in the States right away, and so I'll be like, oh, I'll pre-order it through this like this like global retailer or this UK retailer.
Yeah, because you were saying that in the George Mann.
Yeah, that's right. And so
yeah, I'm a fan. I'll listen.
It's another Fletcher. So Tom Fletcher and his wife, they write like this sci-fi series together, and so I thought I pre-ordered the hardcover of one of their books, and it came in, it was like the international paperback. So like international paperback, like that's what you get as the new release for a lot of them, and I didn't realize that was a thing. So part of me was bummed, but then part of me was like, well, I still got it, and I guess it was cheaper.
But when I've seen one hardcover in store, everything else I bought online, one hardcover, and that was the Family at War. Like retelling of the
saga thing.
Story.
Why is that a thing there? Like,
is
it? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like, I've got Lost Stars in hardcover that I got off Amazon. I am trying my hardest to find the first book in the Padme series.
Oh,
can't remember which one it is. Queen's Shadow.
Queen's something.
Queen's Shadow. Whichever one's the first one. I just. Because there's Peril and there's...
Peril was when I was thinking.
Oh, we're horrible. We're horrible. We're getting canceled for this.
Those aren't my favorite books either, so they're not the tip of my...
Oh, I haven't read them yet, so...
Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of people, it's their mission to own all the hardcovers. And for me, like, I'm a collector, so, like... I'll read them, however, but if I really love a book, then I want like a special edition. So like the hardcover isn't always the thing for me. Anyway, so like all of my Red Rising books, I only have, I bought them in paperback first because I just wanted them and I just bought them. They were the cheapest. So.
Ooh. Oh, you're not going to like me for this one. I'm 100 pages into the Red Rising.
Not there yet.
It fell off.
You got to keep going.
Really good, and then it just hit a wall. It just hit a wall for me. I'm like, I don't like this anymore. I'm
sorry. Keep going. That's what Justin said too. And I it's so hard because my brother-in-law said the same thing. I feel like that is a lot of people's take on the first book. And so Justin's on...
Because it starts so brutal, like the pulling down and that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's rough. And I think people give Kevin Scott a hard time for like the amount of people he's killed in his books, but Pierce Brown, folks, you don't even know. Like, it's wild. So I would say keep going. I know it might be rough. The first one's the most like YA, I would feel, and some people feel like it's weird and not what they were expecting, but I'm
a massive man child, so YA doesn't
YA, it doesn't matter. Yeah. YA is awesome. So anyway, it's a book. You'll love Path of Deceit, dude. Like, so good. So good. And of course...
Well, Kevin wrote it.
Kevin did Path of Vengeance. It was Tessa and Justina that did the first Path of Deceit. So it's amazing. Like, you'll love it. You'll love it. I guess, like, part of this, I was like, I don't know some of these things about, like, Australian culture. Like, I didn't know the hardcovers was such a weird... Like, do you have used bookstores that like, carry stuff like that, or...
Around? Oh, actually, there's one store near me. It's called the Book Bucket, and... You can go and buy books, but if you take in some books, you can get books back for free.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like you take 4 books, you might get 1, got to keep it fair. Yeah. I found one of the Rebels books, Ezra's Gamble.
Okay. Nice.
I got it for $4. It's fucking like $138 on Amazon. I got it for $4.
You better flip that. Just kidding.
Oh, no. I was stoked.
That's so awesome.
Oh, I was stoked.
That's so cool. You found treasure. That's the treasure hunt.
Like... They had the hardcover of one of the Thrawn. I can't remember which one. The original trilogy. But I already had that. Last Command. They had that.
Okay. That is something that I could get really quickly like distracted and like there's a couple really good like there are friends of over here we do like Friends of the Library. So it's basically like a volunteer arm of our county libraries, and it's like they manage like the used bookstore. It's hard to explain. So, but this one, they have certain hours, and if I think about it too much, I could schedule my life around like going to those every week. And so there's been waves of my life where it's like, oh, I'm going to that, or they open on Saturdays from 9 to noon. So I'm definitely gonna wake up and take the kid. But it's wild because you never know what you might find. We
do. Yeah, we do have this thing. It's in the city. It's called like Bookfest. It's Lifeline. It's like a charity shop where they just get all their books and you just go in, you can just buy all these ones. Speaking of the most goated Lifeline in the world, the one that Brian from My Star Wars book collection, that man has the most goated fucking bookstore I've ever seen. Because like his collection is the most nuttiest thing I've ever seen. Like he's got everything, and then because he'll message me and he's all like, oh, do you need any of these? And I'll be like, I need that one. He's like, oh yeah, I'll post it up to you.
What?
Legend.
That's
absolute
awesome.
Legend, yeah.
See, and that's the best part about making like Star Wars friends online. Like it's just sharing it. Like it's spreading the love and just helping each other out. Like that's so good.
It's cool finding other Australians in it as well, because like a majority of the people I follow are American, and then there's a handful of Australian ones that I'm like, fuck yeah, we've got like there's Sarah Collector Mixie. She's in Melbourne and stuff like that, and I'm like, it's just cool to know that there's other people here. Cool. And like we'll message each other, be like, oh, Big W's got the book for $16, and we're like, yes, all right, off we go. And
see you there.
Like the timeline book, they had that there for like $40, and we're like, yeah, it's in there. We're like, straight there.
That's awesome.
Because Big W is like a, I don't want to say like Walmart in a way, but like, yeah, books come out to Dimmicks, which is like the big bookstore here. They have $32, but Big W will get it for $16.
Oh, okay.
So they get
like
it
a little bit more
like,
discount type thing.
Yeah, I think it's because they buy bulk.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so they can mark it down.
Big W, what is that? Like, I don't.
big warehouse.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it's Big
Okay,
W,
gotcha.
yeah. And then because like our Target and that's completely different to American Targets.
okay.
Like Target's clothes, books, houseware. That's it.
Okay. I wish that's what
It's
American
like yours
Target
has like
was.
food and everything
American
too.
Target has declined. I hate it now. They don't carry anything.
See,
Like
Target is the bougie fucking top tier thing.
that's
here.
kind of what it's turning into here, and I hate it. Like I grew up going to Target, and it was like you could afford, like as a kid, if you had like $5, you could buy something. That's gone. Like you can't, and the hunt doesn't exist there because they don't carry it. Like I live in a pretty metropolitan area. There's some big Targets where I'm at. If you go on release day, release week of some big books, good luck. Like they might not even have it.
Yeah.
Or if they have it, they're like, oh, it's in the back. Can you come back tomorrow? We'll try to find. Like what? It's stupid.
I waited in a Big W for 20 minutes for them to dig a book out of the back.
Yes.
It was because I love Halsey, and it was her poetry book. And I was like, I need this. The book broke my heart, but I was like, I need this poetry book. And I was like, do you have it? They're like, yeah, it's out the back. And they're like, do you mind waiting? I was like,
I'll
fine.
wait.
It's fine. I was just sitting there twiddling my thumbs.
Yes. Or the bad thing is I'm like, look, I can see the sticker where here's the name of the book I want. The shelf, it's empty. Like, go find it. Please. Like, I will buy this book. Like, it's wild. Anyway, that's so interesting. I can't, dude, someday, like, will you give me a tour of a Big W and we'll go on a shopping spree?
We can get a big bucket of sour worm lollies. Big bucket, $10.
Those are my favorite, seriously. Sour gummy stuff, I'm down. Down. Okay, where were we at? Oh, well, we talked about it already. So you said so Bloodline, that was one of your first ones. What are some of your other favorite books in Star Wars world?
Thrawn, obviously.
OG and new?
Thrawn, so both. Look, they're equal. They're equal. I can't pick. Like all three of the trilogies. Like it's not like a child where you can pick your favorite. Like it's definitely all three. I think are equal. Like I mean, the Heir of the Empire trilogy is immaculate. Yeah. It's perfect. Every second of that. Like I don't really read books back to back.
Okay.
Like I might read one, I might go to a different one, then go to a second, but they need to be really good for me to like read them all because I kind of space it out a bit. Thrawn books, all three straight together.
Wow. Okay. Like
all of them. And Hunger Games. Hunger Games was because I never saw the movies. I read the Hunger Games book. I read all three in a week. I was like, just had me.
Good.
Chokehold.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Well, dude.
Oh, and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings. I read all back to back.
Damn, I'm hoping. I want Red Rising to cross. I want you to cross over and get to that point where you like can't stop. So like, please push through for me. Will you please do it?
I'll try. I'll try.
Please. It doesn't get any less brutal, so I don't know if that was the thing that triggered you. Then maybe, but I mean,
oh no, I've managed to read It by Stephen King in 4 days.
Okay.
And that book, the start of that book, like it's so rough. Like the movie shows like the homophobia that they have, but the book is so rough. You're like, oh god, this is not good. And then there's the weird bit at the end with the kids, and I'm like,
okay, so it's not content necessarily.
I've made it through that. I've made that.
Please try. Maybe
I had unrestricted access to the internet when I was like 10. I've seen it all, man. Like,
I'm gonna get a new group thread going with me, you, and Justin because I know Justin's he finished the first one, he charged through, and he's on the second Red Rising. So I'm like, please keep going. So I'll have just like a cheer you guys on thread between us.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So who are some of your favorite Star Wars characters? I mean, you said Thrawn already, but who is the person Thrawn, like you find something at a shop or you'll buy it that has their face on it? Okay.
Thrawn. Yeah, I have Thrawn tattooed on me.
Oh, so. Nice. Okay. So,
damn.
Again, show it. This isn't a visual podcast, but I want to see it. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And then my other boy, my original love.
There you go, Boba. Love it.
And the slave one.
So cool. That's awesome. He'll have to show the day this podcast airs. Make sure you just put those tattoos on your story. Then I can share them. Everyone can see what I just saw.
Cool.
What was I going to say? So, what are some of your most prized like Thrawn possessions that you have? I mean, besides your tattoo, you just showed me that. But
You can't find anything. I'm like everyone else. I've got the little Black Series Thrawn.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, there's just nothing. I've been trying to find the one where it's got the Islamari around his neck. From that was like an older one. Trying to find that.
Wait, the figure, like the action figure? Yeah.
Yeah. He's just because he's got the Islamari, because they did release Luke a couple years ago for the Heir of the Empire like lot. I was like, give me a Thrawn, and they just never
bummer.
did.
Okay.
But my God, my wallet is going to hurt once Ahsoka comes out.
You're just going to buy everything? Whatever they put out?
Yeah.
No, it's true.
I'm really hoping for a hot toy. There
you go.
The main
okay.
one.
So what was your response when in Mando season 2 when his name got dropped?
I jumped off the couch and ran around the kitchen table. Hales, come here. Can you please confirm that story? I'll get my wife to confirm that I literally ran around the table.
That's awesome. I can say that I gasped, and my wife was like, "What? What's happening?"
When Ahsoka says, "Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?" my reaction was I jumped off the couch and ran around the table.
Yes, he was legitimately he was legitimately running around the entire living room downstairs, and it was
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, I love your necklace. Sorry.
That was the first gift I gave.
That's all. She can't hear me probably, huh? That's amazing.
No, I can't hear properly. Sorry, but so that's the first gift he gave me when we got together for my birthday.
Yeah,
and I've pretty
never
much
taken
not
it off.
The entire,
as you shouldn't.
I got that Riz. Fucking.
So,
dang, making everyone else look bad over here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
It's actually going to comedian stuff.
Oh, true.
That's awesome. I feel like most of us who know, we're just like, what? Let's go. And we knew it was going to be Lars, right? Like, did we have any doubt it was going to be Lars?
It had to be, but like a lot of people, here's another controversial thing, is go on about Thrawn's like way in Rebels.
Okay, yeah.
People are like, oh, it's not the one that he was in it for 15 fucking minutes. 15 minutes, not even a full episode worth over 4 seasons.
Fair. I mean, fair call.
And then people are like, oh, Dave Filoni's going to ruin him. It's like, give him a chance.
Yeah.
He has more room to breathe here. Like, give him a chance. Like,
I mean, I kind of get it. I don't think I'm as like steeped in the love as like some people are, but having read all the books, it's like you know him, and so it is like most book people, the High Republic people. Like we want to have faith that they're gonna treat our beloved characters right, you know.
But another thing about Thrawn though is there's a lot of years between when we seen him last in the books
and Mando
and now.
Yeah.
Are we the same people we were before COVID?
Fair.
No. We are different. He could be the malicious asshat that he is in like the original trilogy that he did. Like he could be brutal. He could be like we don't know, mate. Maybe the Chissa got fucking exploded. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
And honestly, who cares? Like he's coming. Like it's happening. Like just enjoy that it's happening, right? And like go for the ride.
Just seeing the back of his head. The back of his head in the trailer.
I know.
Oh, so hot.
I know. So cool. I can't wait. Well, I'll have to have you back on once Ahsoka starts. Or we should have just like an epic nerd out session with like multiple people and talk about Ahsoka. That'd be fun. Yeah. Anyway, that's cool. You might have seen on mine. I have a couple. I love Thrawn's just like aesthetic, right? Like obviously, like the skin and the eyes. It's so cool. I have my little like mini Rebels bust, like from Gentle Giant. I love that thing. It's so nice. And then I have like the little pin. I don't know what it's called, but it was a blind box pin that I had to go buy on eBay because I didn't open it. I bought like 5. I bought them when I went to was it Celebration when they released those? I think last year. I forgot. I bought some blind boxes, and I hate that because you pull what you pull. I mean, it's exciting, but it's like I don't play the lotto for that reason.
Oh God, I'm a sucker for blind boxes.
Right? It's so fun, but it's like so disappointing most of the time.
I nearly bought. So there was this Naruto set, And I ended up buying, like, I wanted Itachi. That was the one I wanted. And I bought probably half of the box. Just going in every week, just being like,
get another one.
$12, whatever, I'll grab it. 2 Narutos, 3 Sasukes, 3 Kakashis, 2 Sakuras. And because Gaara, I could tell because he's got like a big sandbag on his back. I could tell his was his because it was so thick. Just did not get Itachi. So I just gave all the extras that I had.
And then you bought it on eBay or something?
No, I never bought it. It defeated me. It beat me. It won. That's
amazing. This is so stupid of a story, but like I have I loved the like newer DuckTales season that came out, and there was like a blind box. They did a Darkwing Duck figure. Like the only figure from the new DuckTales that they did was in this blind box of like these little DuckTales blind things. I was like, oh crap! Like but I found someone online was like, here's how to find out the one that is Darkwing. Like there was something you could do, and you could like see his hat or something. There was like a tiny like sliver. So I was at Target making my kids wait. This was years ago. And I'm like, wait, I got to find the one. Like, I cheated. But I'm like, I'm not going to waste my money or my time trying to find Darkwing Duck.
My mate's mum, she sells Lego. She resells it. Like, she'll take a set apart, sell like on that brick.
Zane's her customer.
She'll sit there watching TV, apparently, and get the blind bags.
Feel them?
This one's Hermione. Done. Sells it on eBay because it's
Is she
guaranteed.
ever wrong?
Hermione, but sealed.
What?
No. Because she'll just sit there.
That is wild. Knows. That's a gift.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
Because that's what he said. That's what Luke said. His mum will do it, and she'll be like, "Do you want the whole set?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she'll just give him the exact amount of bags and go, "There they are."
Like at the store? Like just
and
do it?
Open them. No, well, she buys everything in boxes and then she'll.
Yeah. Dang. That's a skill.
Yeah. That's her job. Like that's her full-time job.
That is what? Really? Like just reselling?
Mm.
What the heck? That's wild.
Like just buying sets in bulk, pulling them apart because like, you know, one set might have a certain window that no other set has and people want that for their custom build. And
that's crazy.
Like I just before this podcast I built a little Lego set too.
Nice.
I just went through all the Fast and Furious movies because I hadn't really watched them.
I've never seen a single one.
And I fell in love with just how bad they are. Like, they're not great, but they're so much fun. And I was like, I saw Brian's, like, Skyline Lego, and I was like, I'm buying that.
There you go. That's fun. I need to get the, I did see that they're doing a Young Jedi Adventure Lego set, and I low-key want to get that.
Yeah, well, it's out here. So
is it? Okay, it doesn't have nubs, which is fine, but I just...
It's the one with Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda and some of the Kai and some of the other ones. It looks cool. I mean, I feel like one thing I want to be a completionist on is kind of High Republic, but I still got to pick and choose. But
it's starting to get out of hand. See, another shit thing is comics here.
Oh, I bet
comics
like single issues or trades too.
Yeah, single issues, paper trade backs. Like Dimmicks might get them. But like they might have one, and that's it. And then for me to get, it's a bit of a cunt to get to in the city. But there's like a decent comic book shop, but that's like a 40-minute drive, and then you got to pay like $30 to $50 for parking. And I hate going on the trains because people here just take their pants off and shit on the floor. And yeah, it happens. It happens. And yeah, so I try to wait. I've only managed to get one omnibus at the moment. I got the Afra one. Okay. But when they announced the High Republic one, I was like,
100%. And there's like there's 2 different covers. Come on, guys.
Few.
I can't I can't do this.
Like I've got a few. Like I want to get the Vader ones because the Vader comics are incredible. They're just both of them, the Darth Vader and Vader. They're just incredible. And then that ties in with Afra.
Exactly. Yep.
Speaking that's another one of my favorite characters. I adore Afra and 000 on that.
Yes, I love 000. Yeah.
They're just
that is one.
Just the bloodlust of a droid.
Right. Well, I've heard the Dark Droid stuff that's coming out soon. The like little mini series that like Charles Soule's gonna do. I've heard it's gonna be pretty like epic and like lore heavy with like droids and stuff. Yeah, so it might be really cool. Sweet. What was I gonna say? Afra is I read her intro and I started it, but I've only read the first run, like line, and so I need to get into it. Like everyone tells me, and I just feel like that's
because the audio drama was good because that kind of covers what they did in the comics too. And I enjoyed
that's actually why I read up to that point, because I didn't want to like not know what was going on in the audio drama. So,
plus it gets wild, like the Vader down stuff. Like it gets wild. That weird like robot Mon Calamari guy. Like I can't remember his name, but
that's so fun. Well, seriously, man, we should. I can just get like maybe we can have a service where it's like I just collect things until I can fill up a certain size box and then just ship you stuff.
And then that will cost me my other leg.
That would be like your parking, maybe more than your parking to go on the anyway.
It's like I sent a box of Aussie snacks to one of the American friends I met through the page, and postage alone was like $70 for this like little box.
I know. At one point I wanted to send some American snacks to like a UK YouTuber that I really liked for a while. Because she would do these like unboxings of like snacks. And I was like, oh, I'll send you. Oh, because it was like Girl Scout cookies. She was trying to find Girl Scout cookies. I was like, oh, I can get you some. I see them all the time. Like, I can just send you some. And she's like, oh, that'd be so cool. And then when I looked at shipping, I was like, sorry, I can't do that. I'm not going to spend $50 to $75 to ship you a box of cookies. Like, anyway, I would do it for you though, dude. I would do it for you.
Thank you. Of course. I do love Captain Crunch. I got sent Captain Crunch. And I was like, I love this because one box of Captain Crunch here is like $14 to $17.
Oh, like regular flavor Captain Crunch?
Huh? $20.
What?
Oh, fuck me.
Just because it's imported or what?
Yeah, I just got confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regular Captain Crunch? Like the regular, like square?
Yeah,
okay.
just regular.
Okay, I will say I grew up eating peanut butter Captain Crunch, and maybe because I'm American, but it's like a peanut butter thing. Like, peanut butter Captain Crunch is crazy good. Like, it's so good.
But that's like we see all your flavors are like Mountain Dew. We have green. Like that's it, and it's the energized one. It's not even the good one. They turned it energized and they just fucked it. And then you see all your Fantas. It's like we have orange.
I mean,
and then Dr. Pepper sucks. I will fight anybody over this. I hate Dr. Pepper.
I mean, that's fine.
It's like drinking medicine. It's basically like drinking medicine.
I don't have a close love for Dr. Pepper, so that's fine. Dude,
it's like a $6 can.
What?
Ugh.
That's so weird. Okay. Well, basically, what I hear us saying is that like eventually I got to get down to Australia and experience all the stuff over there that you have that I don't, and then on the opposite side, you and your wife come up to the States.
You can try Vegemite. It's garbage.
Oh no,
Vegemite's
I don't. I've tried it. I'm not doing that.
I done a spoonful of it the other week on stream. I had like a sub goal.
No.
And then my brother-in-law sends a video. He posts it online. He's got like a fucking tablespoon.
Just like going for it. Like loves it.
5 mouthfuls. I'm like,
have you ever been to the States?
No, I've never left Australia.
Okay. I've never been over there. So
States. Yeah. States is definitely like obviously Disneyland's the main thing.
Yeah.
It's just like the two things that I want to do, they're completely opposite sides
of the country.
So like there's Disneyland and then I want to go to New York. And I know this might sound weird, but I want to go to New Jersey.
Okay.
Because Kevin Smith has a comic book shop.
Okay, there you go.
And I want to go to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. Other than that, I don't Halsey and Mike M come from New Jersey.
There you go.
So
just go to the East Coast because you could just do Disney World. I mean, it's all on that same side. I mean, I know it's not Disneyland, but
yeah, but it's not Disneyland.
I know.
Yeah,
I've never been to Disney World actually. I've only been to Disneyland is like 3.5 hour drive from.
And that's Florida, isn't it? That's Florida, isn't it? Disney World. Yeah, it's Florida.
Do we have to talk about that? You kind of mentioned it before, saying that you didn't have like. Your Star Wars thing was kind of a natural thing that you figured out on your own, but I guess for like just pop culture or maybe music or just like you have an interest in, it's an artistic leaning, right? Like into music, books. Like where did that come from? Is that something innate in you or who kind of guided you in that as you were growing up?
So growing up, pretty well bullied. I deserved it. I was a weirdo. In hindsight, I'm like, I was a little bit weird. I got bullied and I was trying to fit in with all the cool kids. So I started listening to Eminem and that. So like, that was kind of my first, like, other than NSYNC, I was like 6. when it came out, and then like I was like, oh, this is cool because the film clip they're all puppets. That was really cool. That was kind of my first, and Avril Lavigne and stuff like that. And then Eminem was kind of like the first big boy music that I had, trying to fit in. And then Dad got given like this AC/DC Family Jewels DVD. It was just all their film clips. You know, this is kind of before YouTube and being able to watch YouTube on your TV. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, you know, the cool like rock sort of energy and stuff like that. And then obviously the Tony Hawk's games and the WWE games as well. You know, like there's a lot of metal music in that. So that's kind of how I found punk and that. And then one of Dad's mates gave me a live DVD of Alice Cooper. And I put that on, like we got home, Dad was hanging out with him, they were having drinks. We got home at like 11 o'clock that night. And I put on this DVD and there was a song called Pick Up the Bones. And little me was like, skeletons are cool. Pick Up the Bones, put that on. And just seeing the theatrics that Alice Cooper had in that show, because, you know, like he hangs himself, gets his head cut off and that on stage. I was like, this is really cool. Like I had never experienced anything like that. And then that was the big like theatrics of rock that I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like it's visually. And then I remember it was 2007, New Year's Eve. I had $20. It was like from my Christmas money. We went there was like a Better Electrical, it was like an electronic shop. They sold CDs. And there was this one CD when we went in there that I kept looking at, and it was Slipknot. I was like, this looks cool. I grabbed that CD. I went home, and like the most screaming I heard was like Linkin Park before that. So, you know, I was listening to like pretty elementary stepping stones, and then I've got that Slipknot CD. And that was the first time, like, as soon as Sick kicks in with the like, and then he just does that scream. I was like, huh? What? And I was like, what is this? Like, I had never heard anything so violent and fast before. And I was sold. Because like I've heard screaming like Linkin Park. Like I think the first time I really heard screaming was My Chemical Romance. Sharp as Lives. He does a bit of it's not even a scream, it's more just like a yell. And then like I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And then hearing it from there, and then it just kind of expanded. And then I was all like, I become obsessed with Slipknot, like obsessed. And then I was all like, I wanted to play drums. And Dad's like, you can't play drums, you can play guitar. He's like, I don't want to hear it. You can turn down a guitar, you can't turn down drums. So that's how I started playing guitar. And then I've tried to start bands and that all through high school. I ended up in this really bad grunge band called Wasted Talent. We were horrible. There was one point there I was in 3 bands. So I had to practice every day of the week, and I was playing shows both day of the weekend. I was in Wasted Talent. I was in a thrash metal band called Anarchist. And then I was a screamer in a metalcore band with the dumbest name ever, Today's Friday.
Love it.
And then Today's Friday kind of, guitarist went off to Perth and that, but then things didn't work out. And then other guitarists just kind of wasn't interested anymore. And then the drummer said to me, he's all like, I want to play punk music. Because I started loving Blink. Like I went to the stage where I'm all like, oh, Blink, it's not metal. And then I started, you know, you're very elitist in the early days, like this is it. And then I started like broadening to, you know, like Good Child and that, like in Green Day, they were all kind of during primary school, and I was like, oh, I've evolved past this. I'm into this metal music now, like Parkway Drive and everything. And like then started getting back into Blink, and then really started getting into Blink because my drummer's actually 10 years older than me. So like he grew up like in the prime of Blink, and then he kind of got me back into it. And then we started making Midnight Siren with 4 of the 5 members of Today's Friday. And then drummer moved away. Like we recorded 2 songs, drummer moved away. And then I stayed in Santa for 2 more years after that. And then I messaged him. I was like, all right, where do you live? Tell me where he lives. And I was like, all right, I'll move up here. He's like, I sold my drum kit. I was like,
oh,
all right, fair enough. And then he's just gone through, he just got another drum kit. We've just started up again after like 8 years.
That's awesome.
So it's me and him, and then we got a new guitarist and a new bass player. So we got Jace and
Cool.
Billy to come in. Yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, theatrics. Theatrics was definitely the big thing that drew me into music, and then yeah.
And having like, obviously your dad didn't like outright say no. Like I would tell my son no sometimes. Like I've told him no to drums as well. I'm like, sorry.
Well, drums were a big no because he's all like, I don't want to hear it. He's like, you could have guitar. But dad was also very much like if you want something, you need to work for it. And I appreciate him this for me. So like 14, I got a job at Macca's or McDonald's for Americans. Got a job at Macca's. And my first lot of money that I made there went into buying a really, really shit practice guitar.
That's great. Okay, so I'm going to get to the question that I ask everybody that I think maybe has caused you a little bit of stress in the past. But I'm going to ask...
so much stress the whole time. I'm like, what am I going to say?
All right, let's just do it. What is your last current next?
The last book that I read, so I've been reading the Berserk manga series, which is incredible. Everybody should read Berserk. But the last book I read was Road to Neverwinter, the Dungeons and Dragons tie-in book that's set before the movie. And because not enough people saw that damn movie, and it was great.
I've heard it was really good.
And it was fantastic. It's just whoever at Paramount needs to find God because they released Dungeons and Dragons between John Wick and Super Mario. And now they've just released Transformers between Spider-Verse and The Flash. And then they're releasing Mission Impossible a week before Oppenheimer and Barbie. Because if they were doing all the advanced screenings for Dungeons and Dragons, like a month and a half before the movie came out, that's when they should have released it. And I had so much fun with the movie. And when I saw there was a book, I was like, yep, need to buy that. It was good. It was just as good as the movie.
Is it an adaptation?
It's a
prequel.
Okay,
I think you said that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It there is weird bits in it, like it's Edgin reading to his daughter, telling her a story about a adventure that he did. I feel like that part wasn't needed. They could have just had it as like how they kind of meet, like how he meets like Forge and all that. Like it's just fun. There's another D&D book that I need to read about the druid character. I can't remember her name. But that I've got that. I'll get there eventually. Current, I'm reading Berserk at the moment, but I'm near the end, so I'm trying to take my time with it because being a manga and that and the books are anywhere between $50 and $80 each because they're big. I buy the big deluxe editions, and I've nearly caught up, so I'm like trying to. I don't want to wait too much. Like I like to have something to go into from there. But a little bit nervous since the original author and illustrator Kentaro died in 2021. I think he did tell his like protege where the stories he wanted it to go. So I kind of hope it's still good because it's been amazing. Nice. And my next, despite the 386 million books I haven't read on my shelf downstairs, I'm like, I'm going to read Lord of the Rings again.
That's awesome.
And I keep running, and went to the bookstore today, and then there was, because they're just releasing these really nice hardcovers of all the books. Like I got the Fall of, I always butcher it,
Numenor?
Numenor, yeah. Got the hardcover of that, and then we're down there, because I love The Hobbit. Like, I prefer The Hobbit over The Lord of the Rings. I don't know. It just had that sense of like real magic and wonder to it. Like Lord of the Rings is incredible. Like it's his magnum opus, but like Hobbit was just so fun. But now I've seen that they've done like Fellowship. They've done all of them.
Nice.
In the hardcover.
Did you see? There's that new Is it illustrated? It's a Hobbit illustrated. A new one that's coming out. It looks so nice.
Yeah. Because I've also got The Hobbit as a graphic novel.
Cool. That's
awesome.
Really cool. I know Justin's been wanting to do a group read of basically all these and like do an epic Tolkien group reread. So I don't know when I would be ready for that, but that'd be fun.
And then once again, I always butcher the name, the Silmarillion.
Silmarillion.
Yeah, I always butcher the name. I want to read that, but everybody's like, it's depressing.
Have you read it? Okay.
No.
It's not
Everybody says it is a bit of a tough read.
It's a tough read. It's basically like, it's one of those books where you will be proud that you did it, but along the way, you might not always enjoy it the whole time. So it's kind of like a textbook, I would say. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I liked it. I didn't think it was hard to read. It's a challenging read, I would say, but it's not unenjoyable in the end. So anyway.
Yeah. And then what's got me excited is they had that game kind of announced yesterday, that Minecraft type game where it's you go into Maria.
Oh, really? I haven't heard of that.
You're a dwarf and you get to dig a hole. Like, I'm sold.
What?
That's all I need. You're a dwarf, you dig a hole.
So wait, it's a...
Don't tell me anything else. That's all I need.
So
Let
is
me
it
dig
like
a hole
console
as a
game
dwarf.
or like a PC? Like, what is it?
It's probably come out and everything, but it's like a multiplayer thing. Apparently it's set after Lord of the Rings, and it's kind of them reclaiming the mines.
Whoa, what? I'm gonna go research
and
that.
I was like, shit time for them to announce that
the
after
Gollum
the
game or whatever
abortion of Gollum that just came out. Like,
did you play that?
It's
Okay.
No,
it looks horrible.
Because like I've been watching videos. He has a sprint. You can sprint for 2 seconds, and then it takes 10 seconds to regain it.
Oh man.
And yeah.
Well, cool. That's awesome. Definitely keep me in the loop on what's going on with your reads. And you still have Red Rising. Don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get there. Okay. Maybe.
Dang.
Maybe.
All right, man. Well, you said it already before, but where can people find you, interact with you online?
You can find me at That Dude That Read That Book. You can find me on Twitch and Kick now. I've started that up at That Dude That Plays That Game. You can find me on Spotify with my band, Midnight Siren. Sometimes, since we've only got the 2 songs, it could be a little bit hard. The easiest way to find the band is Midnight Siren, I Wanna. That's one of our songs. We will have 3 new songs coming soon, maybe more. We've got 2 done now, and we're doing another one next week. Where else can you find me? I'm on Twitter as That Dude That Plays That Game. YouTube, That Dude That Made That Video. But it's pretty much just me reposting everything that I post onto TikTok. TikTok, you can find me at both That Dude That Read That Book and That Dude That Plays That Game. It's both of them as one. So, like, I've done that. Yeah.
Nice.
Look, long username to overcompensate for areas where I'm short.
Well, man, it has been an absolute pleasure. And I know this will not be the last time we chat, so I'm stoked to have you on for this Nerd Out session. And
yeah, just don't put me in between like incredible authors, please.
Dude, I value you and my friends as much as my author interview. So it's been an awesome pleasure. So thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I want to give Mitch another huge thanks for joining me today on this episode. I know this will not be the last time we talk because new K-pop songs are always coming out, new books are always coming out, and he's just my bud. So I'm stoked to be able to have talked to him today. I hope you enjoyed our time, and I can't wait for the day where we get to do our epic Star Wars book meetup and we get to hang out in person. Thank you so much for joining me today. June has an extra episode coming out this month, so keep your eyes and ears peeled in 1 week for another episode of This Dad Reads. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening. For more of my content, visit my website at thisdadreads.com for full book reviews, interviews, and articles. Follow me on socials at This Dad Reads on Twitter and Instagram. This Dad Reads, the podcast, is produced by Aravis Industries and me. Special thanks to my editor, Jeremy Tuttle, and to Coma-Media for the use of their song Bounce. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe on your podcast platform of choice and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps. Catch you next time.